everybody, Amrita Civil Services Education Program like everkum swagatham. ഒരു സിവിൽ സർവീസസിന്റെ ഫൈനൽ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ എങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കുമെന്ന് നമുക്ക് പലർക്കും ഒരുപക്ഷെ അറിയണ്ടാവില്ല. സിവിൽ സർവീസസ് മനസ്സിൽ കാണുന്ന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു സ്വപ്നമായി കാണുന്ന നിങ്ങളിൽ പലർക്കും വളരെ യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആൻഡ് വളരെ സഹായകരമാകുന്ന രീതിയിലാണ് ഈ ഒരു ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ബോർഡിനെ ഒരുക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. വളരെ എമിനന്റ് ആയ പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റീസ് ഉള്ള ഒരു ശരിക്കും ഡൽഹിയിലെ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ബോർഡ് എങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കും എന്നതിന്റെ ഒരു മിനിയേച്ചർ വേർഷൻ തന്നെയാണ് ഇവിടെ അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഡിസൈൻ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഇന്നത്തെ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ പാനൽ ചെയർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് അംബാസഡർ ടി പി ശ്രീനിവാസൻ സർ, currently Executive Vice Chairman of Kerala State Higher Education Council, Ms. Jaya Chandrasekhar, an English Communication Skill Expert and Professional Trainer, Shri Rishi Raj Singh, IPS, Chief Vigilance Officer, KACB, Dr. K. Ampadi, IIS, Managing Director, Kerala State Coastal Area Development Corporation Limited, N. Prashant, IAS, District Collector, Calicut. Hello Krishna Raj.
Hi.
Congratulations for making it so far.
Thank you.
Okay, so how do you feel on top of the world? Nalla happy to thonunda?
Obviously, but I still have one more step to go. I'm
one big step to go.
Yes.
Okay. Is this your first attempt now?
First attempt, I had written it during my final years, but I was not serious that time, and this is my first serious approach.
Serious attempt, yeah. Okay. So first serious attempt le thanne nammal endha parayda prelims mains okke idekke tackle cheyidirikana. So see idinte oru prathekatha ennu vechal prelims mains okke padikkan ottu eluppalla engil polum you know where to study from alle. Interview ennu parayumbothekkum you really don't know what to refer to. It's about your attitude, your body language, adonnum overnight develop cheyanum pattilla. So what is your strategy of tackling the final interview?
As of now, my strategy is to be myself.
Very good.
Don't have to project what is not there in me. I just have to be plain. I just have to stick on to what I've learned. Follow the fundamentals.
I think that works. And tell me, what do you consider as your biggest strength? Krishna Raj's ഏറ്റവും വലിയ strength എന്ന് തോന്നുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യം എന്താണ്? In your character?
I'm always optimistic. Be it whatever situation, I just try to find at least one positive out of it. And I learn from my mistakes.
Okay.
And I believe I'm a good team player.
അപ്പോൾ നല്ല രീതിയിൽ മുമ്പോട്ട് പോവാ. Wish you all the best and be ever optimistic as you're always.
Thank you.
All the very best.
Thank you. Afternoon, sir.
Krishna Raj, right?
Sir.
Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
So tell us, how would you describe yourself as a young man?
Sir, I come from Kollam, and I did my graduation in mechanical engineering, and I currently work in the office of the Principal Accountant General in Trivandrum. As a young person, I'm optimistic. I try to find at least one positive out of every event which I face, and I learn from all my experiences which is in front of me.
But mechanical engineering, how did you land up in accounts?
So that's
and you had a job before that.
Yes, sir.
As an engineer.
So
you gave up that and became an accountant.
yes, sir.
What is the motive? What is the difference? What is the advantage?
So the first job was a placement from my college, and then I joined the company in Chennai, which is Tata Consultancy Services, and I was posted in the business intelligence division. And then I had this idea of coming into civil services, but unfortunately I couldn't manage the time because this was a completely new field. So I was required to put in extra hours. So my preparation was not, it started to affect my preparation. So I thought I should write another exam which would get me into the service, into the government service, so that I could get some more time to prepare and also get the experience.
And what service have you chosen?
For the civil services, mine is first option is administrative service, and second is police service, and third IFS.
Why police service offer the foreign service? Because you are tall and healthy?
That is one reason, sir, obviously, and I personally believe that I can take up the job, take up the risk, and there is always passion in me for to come into the police service, sir.
But isn't the police service very risky?
Yes, sir. It has its own risk because you need to work at different situations. You need to work. You have to take decisions at where your life can be at threat. So I believe in those situations, it brings out the real person in you.
If I say the foreign service is even more risky, will you agree with me?
Sir, I think
is the foreign service more risky in terms of living, terrorism, the cultural shock that you have every 3 years. Don't you think it's is equally risky?
It is equally risky, sir, but it depends on the country which we are in posted, and it depends on the events which is happening in those countries. So
Yes, you could be in Afghanistan, you could be in Yemen, you could have been in Nepal
yes, sir, it
just
is
a few days ago.
It is equally risky.
You see, from Iraq and Syria, every soul has come back, but the 2 Indian embassies are working there at their own expense of their lives, because they simply because they are from Indian Foreign Service.
Yes, sir.
So, what sir says is correct.
Yes, sir, it is equally risky, sir.
Okay, India-US relations. It has been like a roller coaster ride, goes up and down, up and down. Can you tell me 2 occasions when it was very good and when it was very bad? Can you think of 2 occasions when it was very good?
It was very good. Currently, it is very good, and there has been a shift in the foreign policy, and not only things are being done, it is also seen to be done. So the media is equally taking it up, and as it is from the shown, like we have a public diplomacy division which shows how important it is to get diplomacy closer to the people. So I believe India-US relationship currently is going in the right direction, and we had issues when we were closer more to Russia, when the Russian crisis took place, and from there I believe this foreign
which was the best, the pinnacle, if you look at the whole of US-India history, which is the highest point?
Sir,
is it today the highest point?
I would say, sir, watershed might have been the 2008 nuclear deal, which
2005 onwards. We signed in 2008, but 2005 was the
sure.
And which was the worst period?
We have had 2-3 incidents. One was Iran, when we are closer to signing that Iran-Pakistan-India pipeline. So then with the US pressure mounting, we actually shifted it to TAPI instead of IPI.
That doesn't affect India-US relations. Have you heard of the nuclear tests of 1998?
Yes, sir.
How would they react? How did they react to that? Some of the measures they took,
sure.
Are you aware? The sanctions?
Yes, there were sanctions.
Yeah, what are the, the sanctions that they imposed? Because you mentioned public diplomacy.
Yes,
could you explain it to us?
Public diplomacy, the Ministry of External Affairs, which is recent step taken by them, which where
what is it? Yeah. What does it consist of? And what is the target?
So getting the foreign policy closer to the people, letting the people in India know what the foreign officers are actually doing through, I should say, a very good social media platform which they are using it right now.
Right, but it's not only Indians. You can also reach people of other countries.
Sir.
Soft power, what do you understand by soft power?
Soft powers are getting ahead with your foreign policy by highlighting your cultural ties, by your historical connections, by making use of the diaspora, then getting music, art, everything.
But can you think of any country with which we had special relationships basically because of our soft power?
It's Nepal.
How about the Soviet Union?
Yes, we do.
Raj Kapoor was very popular in the Soviet Union.
You have mentioned watching documentaries as your hobby. Have you watched India's Daughter?
Yes, sir.
How you watched? It was banned.
Actually, they had released it on YouTube, and the ban came next day, so it was available for a day.
That day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you favor its ban?
I don't exactly favor its ban, sir, because as the later on there was a tremendous amount of criticism for that also.
No. What is your take?
I believe the decision to ban came due to different reasons. One was that the perpetrators of crime were actually defending the act which they had done in front of the public.
I'm asking a direct question. Do you favor banning that documentary?
No, sir.
Why?
Because I believe that those incidents has to be discussed in public. Why the perpetrators of those crime were defending it? So it required a whole.
Was there any illegality involved?
One legality I believe was as per the rules which we have now, the name and whereabouts of that rape victim cannot be published. So, but there is another provision which says that if that victim is dead, that can be done. So initially I thought of like that would be the reason for the ban, but
do you favor censorship
yes, I do.
of films?
Yes.
Why do you want to censor films? See, a script which is written bounded, it can be published.
Sir.
Now the very same script when it is taken on celluloid, you want to pre-edit it, censor before it is released. How is that proper?
Two sets of standards.
Sir, I believe freedom of expression and speech is not absolute. So one person's freedom of speech equally means
that's the general theory.
Yes, sir.
See, the very same thing which I am able to publish as a book, why can't I make it into a film? My freedom of expression, see, if I speak in Telugu, you won't censor it. If I speak in Malayalam, you will censor it. If I convey it through a book, you will not censor it, but if I convey it through a film, you will censor it. The medium is irrelevant, isn't it?
Yes.
So how come you agree to such a idea?
So through the films has a far more reach towards different sections of the society rather than a book which is released. And
but then you don't censor serials, you don't censor news, you don't censor the TV channels. That has a
just
far
these
more
films or
reach.
documentaries?
So for the books, there is a moral obligation on the publisher side that the content has to be verified.
The other people don't have any moral obligation. The
No,
director.
the news channels also do have that. So there is no need, I believe, for a screening for every
different
news
with a movie?
No, you can have certification, but why do you need censorship?
So we don't know what the impact of this movie could be.
Do you know the impact of a serial?
Sir?
Do you know the impact of a serial or a TV program?
Or even a book?
Or a book?
Okay, sir.
Books have cost rights.
Sir, for the serials also there is a provision where you can express your views to the broadcasting
But
corporation.
where is censorship? See, that is, the consequences follow. That is acceptable. But what we are discussing is pre-publication censorship.
Sir.
Editing before it is released. Isn't it completely different?
So for the serials itself, I think it is localized maybe.
So you think serials also should be censored?
I don't know if there were situations where serials has been a
No.
zone of
Do you
content
want
censored.
serials to be censored?
I don't think, sir.
What is performance audit?
Performance audit is where you actually, rather than looking at the credit or debit or whether it was sanctioned or not, you actually look how this amount has been used for a particular purpose, whether it has achieved its intended target and whether the desired outcomes have been achieved or not.
What is presumptive loss?
Presumptive loss is the, I don't recollect it, sir.
Do you agree with that concept? Have you understood what is presumptive loss?
No, I
Because
forgot
the audits.
Have you
and
heard of
accounts-
the 3G, 2G
yeah,
scam?
Yeah, okay, sir, I remember.
In that context, you must have heard this word.
Yeah, presumptive loss, yeah. Yes, because it was a resource of a nation, and back in when the two licenses were given, the procedure which was followed was
No, don't get into the 2G scam. What we are asking is, do you agree with the concept of presumptive loss?
yes.
You do agree.
So
Yes.
what is it? Can you tell me?
Presumptive loss would be the loss which is there due to a decision which was taken, and if it had been taken in another way, it would have brought
is
revenue.
quite
to-
Why
subjective.
presumptive? The word is presumptive,
Yes, sir.
which means the loss may not have taken place
Yeah.
in actual fact,
Yeah.
but it could take place. That's how isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Presumptive means you are presuming
Yes.
that there would have been loss if it was acted in a particular manner. Can you?
Isn't it subjective?
Yes, sir, it is subjective. If we take in our case, that is what the Comptroller and Auditor General, the word Comptroller says that he should be subjective and he should be open to how
So don't you
the
think that
revenues can
policy
be brought in.
making is an ambit of government? And government can decide whether it has to go for one way or the other way. Once it is decided, then you have to audit based on the way it has been decided, isn't it? Can you say that it could have been done in another way? Is it right?
Yes, sir, because it gives a different dimension to the policy makers. Maybe if this way is exposed, like the next step can be based on this. That would indeed be more beneficial. If we take the if we have to make a policy related to this, and if we use the presumptive loss which was exposed or which was explained earlier, that can indeed bring an additional revenue, sir. So I believe it is a torchbearer.
In the 3G scam, see the presumptive loss that has been attributed, that is presumptive loss to the exchequer.
Sir.
Now money doesn't go into thin air. That must have been transferred, isn't it? So the public, the customers, the consumers, they must have got the benefit of it.
Sir.
Now it's what the member was saying is, it is the decision of the government whether to give that benefit to the public so that the service pricing comes down, or you take that money to the exchequer. So why should the auditor come and give an advice on that part? Because the auditors don't have that mandate.
Sir.
Do you agree with that?
So in that case, the procedure was first come first serve, and if the intention of the government, and if the intention was to, I believe that the intention was right. If it has to take the service to the people, and if the
so why
initial
is the auditor
costs are
getting
less,
into this? Why is the auditor getting into things which they don't understand?
sir, it was definitely a loss which could have been could have been a source of revenue, and that is why I believe.
Yeah, but then the services, the price of service would go up. The public will not benefit.
Yes, that is the other side. But the only thing was the procedure
Is the
that
auditor
was
to
followed.
decide that?
Sir, if it was an auction, maybe if it was
Okay,
an
let me
auction-
ask you something. There is this internal surveillance wing that is proposed under the IB, headed by Justice Kapoor. Now there is a suggestion that instead of the Home Secretary heading it, it is to basically to snoop around the citizens, isn't it? So there is a suggestion that instead of the Home Secretary, let the Chief Justice of the concerned High Court head that panel. What is your opinion on that?
Going for a sensitive issue like that, the people has to be taken into confidence, and the method has to be, at least to a certain extent, it has to be clear. Maybe it's not like all the procedures cannot be opened, because national security is something which can't make everything public. So I believe the people has to be taken into confidence, else as we have seen in the cases of different countries, there might be an issue which might arouse at a later time.
What do you know about the recent amendment for the Land Acquisition Act?
So the initial LAR Act which was proposed, which actually was proposed, had an 80%, 70% parameter, where it was required that 80% of the people had to actually support if a private project had to come in that place, and if it was a public-private partnership, it could be 70%. So this was seen as a hindrance to a development agenda. So that has been brought down, and then 5 sections were actually introduced which was exempted from the previous thing, like the rural infrastructure, public-private partnerships where the government owns the land, and similarly 2-3 cases like that. So I believe it was done.
Can you give us 3 things which you would do as a district collector to ensure the safety of women?
So one thing would be a co-education in my district where I would be posted, because it all starts from there. It needs students has to be made sensitive to the issues. They had to be given the training, and so one thing would be I would be starting from the school, and the second thing would be police patrol and the security which the police forces ought to give. Strengthening that would be the second thing, and the third would be giving directions to those people who are working, to the companies of there, to have a responsibility on.
So you don't have any new idea, it's all existing things, isn't it?
For the new
You're
ideas,
a young officer coming in, you should have something new, isn't it?
for the new, maybe we would use the smartphone applications like the one which the Delhi police
That's
has
also
recently
old
launched.
idea. You yourself are saying it's there in Delhi. Something of your own.
You see, certain revolutions have been named recently by the names of flowers. What are they, and where did they take place?
One I would say was the Jasmine Revolution.
Yeah, what is that?
Was in Tunisia, and then a series of revolutions which followed.
Name at
From
least
there.
one more.
There was one, the Orange Revolution, which I said.
recently an office, a magazine office was attacked. Which country?
France.
What is the name of that office?
It was the Charlie Hebdo magazine.
Why it was attacked?
For publishing a content which.
What content?
It was a prophet. It was a caricature of a prophet which was shown, and that was published. Which
the caricature of a prophet, how it becomes offensive?
So I don't remember the content, but it was actually a cartoon of the prophet.
Cartoons they keep making, no, about everyone, about Jesus, about all gods, Hindu gods, everyone. So what is so more offensive about a caricature of a prophet? So you should answer that.
Maybe not everyone did feel it was offensive. It was the radical elements which actually felt it offensive and did the crime. Actually.
No, the answer is not correct. They say that it is shapeless. The God is shapeless, you cannot give any shape. That is their basic objection to it. You understand? Okay, you have written your hobby cricket and all. You have just written like that, or are you serious?
No, I used to play it, sir.
So I should ask you some questions.
Yes, sir.
Why of late certain these bowlers are being asked to stop bowling?
You mean because of that bowling action, is it, sir?
What is that action?
I mean your hand cannot. While
which part of the hand?
Your elbow.
Elbow.
The angle cannot be more than 15 degrees. Sir.
Can you explain?
Sir, I guess if this is the position, now this is the elbow angle, and this can't be what do you say? It can't be above 15 degrees. So if we take this as the elbow angle, you have to take this angle.
What is the new rule in 2020 which is putting bowlers to a great difficulty, which has just come 2 months ago?
Not sure, sir.
Do all the balls which are thrown outside leg side should be wide?
Outside of leg stump, if it doesn't hit the person.
So it's a wide. So it is a wide.
No, if the batsman is in the other side, facing if he's a
the batsman has not done anything. Okay. Ball has been put outside the leg stump and it has gone. So should be wide, no?
Yeah, it should be.
Do all the balls which are thrown outside the leg stump are wide, or are not?
I didn't get.
They say in Kerala, the number of vehicles are increasing day by day. Like 15 lakhs vehicles come every year. So after 5 years, probably it will be impossible situation. So the new concept is that small airports should be brought, so that you can fly and you reach to the place, otherwise it will be difficult for them. So somebody is trying to bring a small airport at Aramula, and people are objecting. So why?
As per the current rule, 2 airports, if the current distance parameter is 160 kilometers. So
who told you?
Sir, if
all airports in Kerala are less than 160.
Okay, sir. The question is why. If that is so, the question is why do we need another airport at Aramula? That was the question which the activists which were raising.
You mean to say that it is only because it is less than 160 kilometers people in Aramula are objecting?
No, sir. Actually, the distance from.
Is the distance the only issue? That's the question.
Nobody is talking about distance.
No, sir. No, sir.
Then what are the other reasons?
The place is one issue because we have been having extensive cultivation in that area.
So somewhere it has to be made, no?
Pardon, sir?
Somewhere a poor airport has to be made somewhere, no?
So that is a problem with Kerala because we have this land issue and we have this, we are a linear state because we have only one national highway plying and land acquisition is definitely an issue.
They can go for a smaller airport. I think nobody is thinking about that. All will be happy.
So air strips would be a good idea.
No, you can land even the helicopter through helicopters or even 20 seaters, 15 seaters also for that. There will be very small, even a half a mile thing will do.
Yes, sir. But the question is the volume of passengers that it would be handling. So if we take the effort and if we put in the infrastructure, the volume of passengers that two helicopters would be handling or an airstrip would be handling would be very small.
What is a KHAP? KHAP.
It's a caste-based panchayat. You mean Khap panchayat? Sir?
Yeah.
That is being practiced. That is in existence in certain villages.
Why this cinema actress Anushka Sharma is in news? Why everybody is after her? Just an actress, though.
Might be not because of her, but the person who is beside her. It might be because of.
What is wrong? She is an independent citizen of this country. She can go anywhere.
Yes, sir. I do find that there has to be. She is being put on an excessive media spotlight.
Why?
So, because cricket is always a celebrated sport in India. So
everybody's wife's fiancé is there.
Yeah.
All are no actor, no cricket player is without his wife or his fiancé also.
But this, I believe, it is a mix of cricket and Bollywood, sir. That is definitely one thing which the media would be celebrating. So that's it.
Is it? I mean, you mean to say is she being wronged or the public is right, or what is your take on that?
No, sir. She is not wrong because it's her right to choose the partner which she aspires to have. So there is definitely no problem with her side, sir.
But at a crucial time, he was distracted. That is the point, isn't it?
Is distraction a factor or not?
So that is up to the player to decide, sir. I believe it is a player who has to decide because he knows the responsibilities.
How long he wants to be distracted? You mean to say?
No, sir. Because
a distraction.
No, sir. Definitely. No, sir.
Their attraction.
Yes, it is.
Cricket with IPL has become mega entertainment. Yeah, it's a kind of an extravaganza.
Yes, ma'am.
With cricket shrinking and money swelling, can it still be called a gentleman's game?
Definitely, ma'am, because there is always the spirit of game. Once you are on the field, you always have this gentleman playing. So you don't find that glamour or the money on the field. Maybe you can find it outside the boundary line. So I believe that the spirit of the game is still on.
You're an officer on a public platform, and you're really trying to make your, one great impression, make a dent, make an impact, and someone hurls a shoe at you. How would you react?
Maybe first reaction would be try to stop that before hitting me, and
like President Bush.
Pardon?
I think he ducked.
Yes, that has to be because that comes from inside.
Okay.
So the next step would be finding the reason as to why he had, what prompted him to take a decision, prompted him to throw a shoe at me. So if it is something which due to which I had done in my, which is it due to my act which I had done previously, I would try to talk with him and understand as to why he had done that. Would you get him
punished or something?
Sir?
Would you get him punished?
That is up to the law to decide if I had been hurled a shoe, and my personal decision would be after talking to him I would understand what prompted him, and then I would decide.
Would you try to gain some publicity out of the event?
Not exactly, sir.
Okay. I've been to several colleges. You're from the mechanical engineering group, right? And without exception, the mechanical engineering batch is the most energetic, the most riotous, noisy lot. Is there any reason? Without exception.
But he seems to be an exception.
Yeah, right. So, what is it about the mechanical batch that makes them really riotous?
It's always the legacy, I would say. Right when you step into this mechanical engineering, even in my college, the one word that would welcome is the Royal Mechanical Engineers. So that legacy still follows. Yes, right. And then there is great unity because this legacy drives a unity of being a mechanical engineer is something which you have to be proud.
One is about TCS.
Yes.
Your work stint with TCS. Now, Vineet Jain was, I think, the earlier vice president. Yeah. He said that when what he looks for in candidates, more than technical expertise or work experience, he looks for passion and curiosity. Why do you think he said that, and what difference would that make?
Because I believe it is passion that drives a person forward. It is that passion in him that inspires him to take the right decisions at the right time, and it is that passion that which ultimately moves the company itself, because you need to have innovations when you are inside this block of rules, and you need to be more passionate to come out with your own abilities. You have to showcase it. So that is something which should come from within, and I believe that passion is what drives your abilities forward. So yeah, that would be one reason.
Okay. In one interview, he was interviewing a candidate. Almost before he was halfway through, he told the candidate that you're not what I'm looking for. You're wasting your time. The candidate started singing. Now, Vinny Jain was obviously taken aback. So he said, why did you do that? So he asked him a counter question. He says, who among your employees would react this way? He said, none. And then he took him on, and he said he never regretted that decision. So what do you think, in what way did this candidate contribute, or why did he decide to just take him on?
I would say, ma'am, he stepped a little forward in that interview, and he came out of the rules which an interview is ought to happen. So that is something which the interviewer would not have expected, and that would be.
Okay.
Have you heard of the UPSC trick questions?
Yes.
Have you heard of any of them? Suppose I ask you one of them.
Okay.
What is it that you cannot eat before breakfast?
It might be a lunch.
Good. Thank you.
Listen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We'll call you back.
Okay.
Hi, Krishnaraj.
Hi.
I think that was a splendid answer. Last one, trick question. What is it you cannot eat before breakfast? So you said lunch, maybe lunch and dinner. Okay. So tell me, how was your overall experience?
So, this was kind of a first experience for me, because we had these mock interviews before, but we didn't have these interviews in those hi-fi setup, I should say. And before, no words to say the panel, because they were exceptionally
Absolutely.
good, and they have proved their track, and I'm none to comment on them.
No, but are they comfortable? Korcha pedi thoniyo adyam Srinivasan sirne pole ethrayum senior aayittu aalu irikkumbo obviously korcha pedi thonuvallo. So what was the dominating feeling you had? Was it fear, or was it nervousness, or was it excitement?
No, first of all, I was excited because I came to know about this from my friends, and I was personally watching the video. And the second thing was, I had a decision that I should be very plain, and I should not be tensed, because I had to make the best out of this.
Right.
So, yeah.
Tell me, how do you rate yourself out of 10?
Should I rate it, or?
Yeah, self-rating. Chumma rate you. Namukku nokkam.
Maybe 8.5.
8.5. I would say it's a very high rating, very risky and bold rating. Usually they give 7 and all that, but then it's good. No, it's good. It's good. So keep your confidence up. Namukeni nokkam panelists nanganne thonundu. Maybe they feel the same. Okay. So keep your confidence up there. I'm very happy you rated yourself high. So all the very best to you, and not just for this assessment part, but for the main interviews. Make us proud. Yeah. Thank you.
Good. I think you have very good potential.
Thank you, sir.
Only thing is, we want you to be more forthcoming. You are not forthcoming, right?
Yes.
Even the last question I asked, you knew the answer, right?
Yes.
Why did you take 2 minutes to answer it?
I was thinking if there might be another answer to it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So that is where you are making a mistake, because there is no right answer or wrong answer in that sense. So when you express your opinion, censorship required or not, should be promptly say yes. If you say yes, then you stick to it, and invent the reasons as you go along.
Right.
That's why I said you are an exception to the mechanical engineers. I would expect mechanical engineers to be forthright, which you are not. You are very reluctant. So if you can discard that, and take more courage into your hands, and you can differ with the board. There is no problem. You don't have to. And why didn't you say environment when we talked about Aranmula? That is the key word, isn't it? Why is Sugata Kumari in that?
Yeah.
Not because 160 kilometers. She couldn't be bothered about that.
160 kilometers rule only illanne. Nanu Kozhikode Mangalore adakke oru Kannur airport vandallo. Odna 160 kilometers. Yeah.
You don't need to fly each plane into every. Yes. So, but you have the substance is there, your language is okay, you are able to communicate, all that is good. Have you been to the UPSC interview before?
No, sir.
It's the first time?
Yeah.
Yes, I think you can make it. So, be a bit more forthright and ready to risk it.
Okay, sir.
Don't be so cautious and so diffident.
So you're playing very safe. You should open up and try to don't be
Yes, sir.
aggressive, but at least give some you know,
Okay.
some good shots.
Okay.
You cannot always play
And one
defensive.
of the accountancy questions you didn't get right, no?
See, you are in the audit and account department right now,
Yes.
and to get you to presumptive loss, we had to take so much of effort.
Yes, sir. Actually, I didn't.
Even laymen know
Okay,
that,
yeah.
isn't it? And what is presumptive loss? You should be able to give it in crisp terms.
Because
They
those
will-
questions came.
You seem
They will
totally
ask you,
uncomfortable.
this 2G scam, as Mr. Vinod Rai sir and all, they said 1,76,000 crores.
Yes.
Somebody will ask you, അവർ എങ്ങനെ ആ നിഗമനത്തിൽ എത്തിയെന്ന് അതിന് എന്തെങ്കിലും മറുപടി ഒന്ന് പറയണം.
Have you read that book? His autobiography.
No, I didn't read it.
I think you should
Yeah,
read
You should read them.
Yes, sir.
Not just an accountant.
It's a fantastic book. I have read it.
Sir.
6 chapters on 6 scams. That's it.
And there was a question on internal surveillance wing under Justice Kapoor and about the Chief Justice becoming the head of it. You answered it very well, nicely, but the sad thing is that there is no such committee at all. There's nothing of that sort.
Okay.
I had just asked something like that, just made up
Okay.
something, and you immediately agreed with that and you started giving answers. You could
So I
have
thought you
easily
were
said,
giving
I am
me a
not aware of
situation.
such a committee, it's not there.
Okay,
It's not
sir.
there.
Oh, sir, I thought you were giving me a situation, and I was expected to answer that.
Yeah.
No, it was not, I didn't say situation or imagine or anything.
Yeah,
This will be taken as pure bluff,
Okay.
You are told there is a committee, so should the Chief Justice be heading it? And you immediately say, yeah, because such and such a reason this is to be done. And it
Yeah.
should be taken as bluffing.
Oh, sir, I missed the point. I thought it was a situation which was given.
Be very careful
Be careful.
when what the board members are saying, and
Yes,
if you are not sure about anything, then you say that, sir, I am not aware of it. I have not heard about that.
Okay.
Then if they are saying that suppose, then you can guess.
Okay. Thank you very much. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, mark.
Okay. all right.
Mark, we have placed you above 200, 210,
Okay, sir.
which is
Good.
one of the highest we have given today.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.